A very good morning, students. Today I am going to continue with the chapter 6 of Science 2, Standard 10, that is Animal Classification. Let us recall what we have studied in previous lecture. We have studied about classification of living organism, variety of animals, benefits of animal classification, chordates, characteristic of chordates. In this lecture also I would like to inform you about some contents which are omitted from this chapter due to COVID problem. First, let us watch a video regarding different phyla. What I taught last time, that 10 phyla are there. I already told you that the animal kingdom is divided into non-chordates and chordates. Further, non-chordates are divided into 10 phyla. So let us see the video for this 10 phyla first. See the video, children. Here different organisms are shown for different animals, for different organism. They are present in which phyla and how they are appearing. What are the example of the different phyla that you all see here. So you can see in the video form so that you can learn in better way. Here see. Now phylum Platyhelminthes. Here you can see tapeworm is there. Phylum Coelenterata. How the tapeworm structure is there, that you can see here, children. Phylum Nematoda. They are having pseudocoelom. Pseudo mean false, coelom mean cavity. Phylum Annelida. These animals have true coelom present in body cavity. Then striped worm it is. Then phylum Arthropoda. It is having, these animals are having segmented body and they are having jointed legs as spider, cockroach, etc. Phylum Mollusca. These are soft bodies. They have internal or external shells. Phylum Echinodermata. They are having the spines on their skin as starfish. Children, we will see here how the kingdom Animalia is divided. Already you have seen the different phyla and their organism. We will see here the kingdom Animalia, that is divided into subkingdom, chordates and non-chordates. Further, we can see here that this non-chordates are, already I told you the method how to learn this 10 phyla. These are further divided into 10 phyla, that are Protozoa, Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. And then phylum Chordata is further divided into 3 subphylum, that are Urochordata and Cephalochordata. That also I told you how to learn the these three, and I told you all the tricks also in the last lecture. Now again this vertebrata is further divided into 6 classes, that are Cyclostomata, species, amphibia, reptilia, apes, mammalia, etc. So this way we can see, children, that how the classification is done. Now let us show you here. This vertebrata is further divided into these 6 classes. Already I explained you. Now here this is called the conventional system of the classification. Now we will see here, this is called conventional system of animal classification. Now this full part what is given here, that is omitted. Further we'll see here this grades of organization. This topic is also omitted for you. This topic is also omitted for you. Here you can see some animals with the protoplasmic grade organization are there as paramecium and amoeba. Now this full part is omitted for you. Further here you can see the structure of the jellyfish. This cellular grade of organization is already omitted for you. Now come to the next page. That is, this was 64. Now we'll see the 65 page. We'll see here, children, that this topic symmetry and this first topic all is omitted. This body symmetry also omitted for you. Now we will start with the germ layers. Now we'll start with the topic germ layers. These are diploblastic and triploblastic. In case of the multicellular animal, what is the meaning of multicellular, children? Multicellular mean made up of many cells. So the animals which are made up of many cells, in those cases the germ layers are formed during the initial period of their embryonic development. That means when they are in the embryo form only, that time these germ layers are formed. Different tissues are formed in the body, and in case of some animals only 2 germ layers are there, as endoderm and ectoderm. Endo mean inside and ecto mean outside. Now all the cnidarian, mostly they are having these 2 layers only, or diploblastic germ cells. In most of all the remaining animal, 3 germ layers are formed, that is mesoderm is also present along with the endoderm and ectoderm. Let us show you in the figure, children. Here you can see diploblastic, and in this is the ectoderm, and further we can see here this is the endoderm. So these 2 layers are there, ectoderm and endoderm. Ectoderm is outside and endoderm is inside. In between, one dead layer is there. Further, we'll see next, that is triploblastic. So here is the triploblastic. In this, along with the ectoderm and endoderm, the mesoderm is also there. So this is the mesoderm. So this way, I think you might have understood what is the difference between diploblastic and triploblastic. Further, come to the next page, children. We will see here. Here you can see one coelom or the cavity part is shown here, and ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm are shown. Meso mean middle, derm mean layer, endo mean inside, derm mean layer, ecto mean outside, derm mean layer. So this way the structure is there. Now let us tell you that this part is cancelled for you. This full part is cancelled. Again, body segmentation is also cancelled. Now, let us come to the next topic. Here is one chart you can see, children. So, in this chart, you can see kingdom Animalia is written, and here the different criteria are given. According to that, the animals are classified. Let us see the criteria. First is kingdom. Kingdom Animalia is having the multicellular organism without cell wall. These are further divided into cellular grade and tissue organ or organ system grade. So this is body organization. Further, the next characteristic what can be seen is, we can see here the next characteristic is body symmetry. So three types of the body symmetry are there: asymmetrical body, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Let us tell you what is asymmetrical body. Now, asymmetrical body mean when the two sides are different in some way. Asymmetrical things are irregular and they don't match up perfectly when they are folded in half. So, from any circular way, from any part, the two identical halves will not get. Next is the radial symmetry. The symmetry in which a central axis is there, that means their body is about a central axis, as we can see in the starfish. Radial symmetry as the condition of having similar parts regularly arranged around a central axis. Now, next is the bilateral symmetry. Here we can tell as a basic body plane in which the left and right side of the organism can be divided into approximately mirror images of each other along the midline. For example, our body. If our body we will divide in two identical halves, each part are the mirror image of each other. So this way we can see how our body is divided. Now, next topic is body cavity. It is acoelometric. In case of the asymmetrical body, when the body is radial, it can be acoelometric. Further, in bilateral symmetry, if it is, then they can be acoelometric, pseudosymmetric and eusymmetric. Now, what is the meaning of acoelometric? When an invertebrate is lacking a coelom, example in flatworm, these are characteristic of a bilateral symmetry. Here, a digestive cavity, that is only internal cavity, is present. Now, Again we can see pseudocoelomata, mean in which the coelom is false, and eucoelomata where the true cavity is present. Now further here we can see, children, 10 phyla are there. First is phylum Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes. Further we can see here, children, it is Arthropoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and last is the Chordata. So this is the classification according to the criteria which are used to classify the different organism. Now let us start with the phylum Porifera. In phylum Porifera we will see, already you have seen the example in the video. We will see that this phylum Porifera, here these animals are having the body which is like the sponge. That means these animals are with simplest body, and they are called as sponges. They bear the so many pores on the body, and these pores are called the ostia and oscula. So children, this point you have to learn that this phylum Porifera, these animals are simple and they have the numerous pores on their body. These pores are called as the ostia and oscula. Let us show you the diagram, children. This is the diagram of the spongilla. You can see here so many pores are present there on the body. Now second point we can see, these are aquatic animal. Aquatic means living in the water. Most of them are marine and few are freshwater dwellers. So some are living in the sea water, that is called marine, and some are in the fresh water. Third point we can see, children. So this is the example of the Porifera. And now third point I'll tell you, children, that most of these animals have asymmetrical body. Which type of body, children? Asymmetrical body. So most of the animals, they have the asymmetrical body. This is the third point. Now these animals have a special type of the cells that are called as the collar cells. So this point I think you have to underline, children. Thus these animals have a special type of cell are called collar cell. These animals are always attached to the substratum. Substratum means base. Always either some rock is there or some big stone is there. That is why they do not show the locomotion. Locomotion means motion of the body. Hence they are referred as a sedentary animal. So this is very important point. As they don't show the locomotion or motion of the body, they are called as the sedentary animals. That means they don't move from one place to the other place. Now let us see, their spongy body is supported by spicule or spongin. Now spicules are made up of calcium carbonate. This is also important point, children, is that spicules are made up of the calcium carbonate or silica. This is also important point. These animals are always they are having the spicule or spongin, and these spicules mean they are very the thorns are there that way somewhat, and they are already I told you that they are made up of calcium carbonate or the silica, and these animals feed upon the small organism taken in their body along with the water. Water is taken in through ostia and given out through oscula. So this point you have to keep in your mind, children, that body is taken, this water is taken through the ostia and given out through the oscula. This is important point. These animals reproduce by budding and asexual method. Already you have studied two methods are there, asexual and sexual. So they reproduce through the budding, that is an asexual method, or sometime by sexual method they have the ability of regeneration. So this point you have to learn that this phylum Porifera organism are having the ability of regeneration. What are the example, children? We'll see here. What are the example? Cycon, Euspongia, or we call as bath sponge. Hyloneema, Euplectilla. These all are the example. Let us come to the next phylum. Now we will see here, children, this is phylum Coelenterata, or we may call as the Cnidaria. Now here the body of the organism of this phylum is cylindrical, or we may tell it is umbrella like. Sometimes if it is cylindrical, it is called polyp. This is important point you have to learn. And if it is umbrella like, we called as medusa. So these 2 points you have to learn. If the body is cylindrical, then it is called polyp. If the body is like an umbrella, it is called as medusa. Now, most of these animals are marine. Marine means living in the sea water, children. Only few are freshwater dwellers. Dwellers mean living in that place, or their habitat is freshwater. Body of these animals is radially symmetrical. Already I told you what is the meaning of radially symmetrical body. And they are diploblastic. Diploblastic mean the body which is having, or we can tell that diploblastic are having a body which is derived from only 2 embryonic cell layers. These are ectoderm and endoderm. Example, already you are learning here, these are the sponges, coelenterate, etc. And triploblastic mean when they are having a body derived from the 3 embryonic layer as ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Now, cnidoblasts bearing the tentacles are present around the mouth. So this is also important point, that cnidoblasts which are bearing the tentacles that are present around the mouth, these tentacles are useful for what, children? With the help of these tentacles they are capturing the prey, whereas the cnidoblast inject the toxin in the body of the prey. Why they are injecting toxins? So that the body, the organism or the prey easily they can hold or they can catch. These are useful for protection also. Now what are the example, children? We can see here the example are Hydra, Admesia, that is sea anemone, then Physalia. In Portuguese it is called as the man of the war, Aurelia, coral, etc. So these all are the example. So hope whatever I taught today you might have understood. Let us see the phylum Platyhelminthes. Here we can see this part is cancelled, children, for you. This full portion is cancelled for you. Now let us come to the phylum Platyhelminthes, children. This is phylum Platyhelminthes. Here, the body of these animal is slender and flat-like or a leaf or strip-like. That is why they are called flatworm. Second characteristic is most of these animals are endoparasite. What is the meaning of endoparasite? That means they are parasite inside the body of living organism. Some of them are the free living and aquatic. This is the second point. And why they are called flatworm, that already I told, that they are flat like a leaf or strip, hence they are called as flatworm. Now, already I told children that they are endoparasite. Endo mean inside, and parasite mean when they are dependent on the other organism, but they are present inside that other organism's body. Now, these are having the body which is acoelometric and bilaterally symmetrical. This already I told. What is the meaning of bilaterally symmetrical? That means when the body is having a plane in which the left and right side of the organism can be divided into approximately mirror images of each other along the midline, then it is called the bilaterally symmetrical. And acoelomate also I told, that when an invertebrate is lacking a coelom, example flatworm. So this you have to see that these are having acoelometric and bilaterally symmetrical. These are triploblastic. Triploblastic mean their body is made up of 3 layers. 3 layers mean, which are 3 layers? Ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Ecto mean outer, derm mean layer. Meso mean middle one, derm mean layer. Endo mean inside, derm mean layer. Their body is made up of 3 germ layer. These are endoderm, ectoderm and mesoderm, already explained you. These animals are hermaphrodite. This point you have to keep in your mind. This is very important point. That is, male and female reproductive system are present in the same animal body. Now, what are the example? Planaria, liver fluke, tapeworm, etc. These all are the example of this. Now, this topic, surprising information, is cancelled for you children. So, I will stop my lecture here children. In next topic we will start from the phylum Aschelminthes. Hope you might have understood. Already I told you all that you have to learn all the important points, write in your notebook. I already so many time in my lecture I told you that make one long book, chapter wise and topic wise you write these important points what I am highlighting during my lecture, as well as you cross the point in your textbook also what I have crossed during my lecture, so that during preparation of exam you will be not having any problem children. Practice the diagram nicely. This is your homework children. So I think whatever I taught that you might have understood children properly. Learn the important term also. Every day you write 5 times these terms, then you can learn easily. For example, I told you diploblastic, triploblastic. These are little bit peculiar term, but you can learn very easily because di mean 2, tri mean 3. So it is very easy to learn that diploblastic 2 layers, 2 germ layer, triploblastic 3 germ layer. Same way, radial symmetry, asymmetrical, bilateral, then acoelomate, eucoelomate, pseudocoelomate, everything. These all terminology is very important. Hermaphrodite, that already I taught you just now, that when the male and female reproductive system are present in the same animal body, they are called as the hermaphrodite. So this way, I think children, you might have understood whatever I taught, and learn nicely, prepare for your board exam, and next lecture we will proceed from the Aschelminthes, phylum Aschelminthes. Thank you children.